And of course, we talked about how to not be offended. To not become an emotionally ruled person, or to learn how to stop being an emotionally ruled person. Because God gave us emotions, but He didn't give us emotions to rule over us. He called us to rule over our emotions, right? And being overly sensitive can be very destructive in our lives. And being offended and being defensive can really hurt your life. And there's something to be said about that particular point. I talked about the way that I phrased it was having overly sensitive emotions, which is a nice way of saying being easily offended. And my thought on that, and I'll come back to Mark 8 in a minute, but my thought on that is one of the things that robs us of our sense of value and robs us of our sense of worth is when we put too much stock in how people treat us. We invest in people's opinion of us. And this is what makes us easily offended. When we're fragile in our understanding of our own identity, we become so susceptible to people's opinion of our identity. So we allow the way people talk to us and the way people treat us to shape our view of ourselves. And when we do that, we're giving them power over our lives. We're giving them power over our emotions, and we're giving them power to shape how we see ourselves. And what we need to learn is it works the other way. We don't wait for the right people to give us a good identity and a good view of our life and our personality, or good opinion of us, but rather we get that from God. We get our sense of identity and worth and value from knowing what God thinks about us, and then what people say to you has less value. Now, you can be thankful for a compliment, but you don't have to crave it. You can be thankful for a compliment, but you don't have to constantly perform to get a compliment, or constantly manipulate people to get a compliment, or constantly try to attract and get attention to get a compliment. It's great to get a compliment, and you can be thankful, but don't crave it. It's great to have somebody have a good opinion of you, but don't crave it. And don't shape your life to have so that people will have a good opinion of you. Shape your life. Let God shape your life based on His opinion of you. Because what really is happening when we get offended is that we become defensive people. And a defensive person is a person that is defending themselves against the wrong things. We only become defensive people when we, instead of guarding our heart from a wrong belief system, we end up guarding our heart against any criticism or critique. Like, if you have a proper view of yourself from God's point of view, then you can handle criticism. If you don't live in guilt all the time, if you just get the book, you'll never live in guilt another day of your life. But only when you live in guilt and condemnation, you end up feeling bad about yourself, so you can't take criticism. When you feel bad about yourself, you can't take critique. You take it personally. Oh, help me now.